What is going on, everyone? We are back with another episode from our F1 career. We're looking to continue the momentum we picked up last round in Australia. We picked up the win. Yes, the Haas team picked up the win. I did adjust the difficulty for our race today in Bahrain. I moved it up to hard, and if that's still too easy, I'm going to move it up again one more. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into practice.
Welcome to the deserts of Bahrain, where the Formula One circus has rolled into town. We're expecting the cars to appear out on track shortly to start today's practice session.
First things first, let's get acclimated to the new track. And this is one, this track isn't my strong suit. I really struggled with this activity. As you can see, there just was something not right about the car. Couldn't keep really good speed through the turns, could not keep the wheels under me going through the turns and out of the turns. And what that ended up meaning is that we failed miserably. So we're going to have to give that another try in practice number 2. On to tire management. This one did go a little bit better as we this track, I think it just is this track, just not a strong track for us, as we are able to keep things in the purple as we're coming around, but we did not have a good enough time as we come up well short of the target time. So we get no score for the first lap of 4. We're doing a little bit better here in the second one, as we come around, and we're going to beat this by about 0.3 of a second, enabling DRS to help us get across. We pick up 10 points for being in the green, but even still, we get the speed, but then we have a little bit too much wear. This time around, we're going to be in the purple, and that will get us 15. We'll pick up 10 more on the next one, so we are going to complete that one. We only get 30 out of 50 points, though, so we are maybe going to give that another try in a future practice. But at this point, we don't have enough time now in practice to do the qualifying pace, so we're going to save that until the next practice. We have the 9th fastest time here. Not too bad considering we're right in front of our teammate Romain Grosjean. So we are going to pick up, let's see, we are going to have some pretty decent resource points here, as we'll get 85 up to 477. That should be enough to update something in our R&D section, but we're going to hold on to those and wait and see if we can pick some more up here in these other 2 practice sessions. On to practice number 2. And we are back looking to get acclimated to the track. This one did seem to go a little bit better. I tried to make some changes, minor tweaks to not the setup, but just how I was driving, trying to take a little bit easier through the turns. And we are able to at least get the green there, but we're looking for the purple. And here, going into turn 1, our teammate comes out of pit lane and makes us miss the first gate, and that completely throws off our whole lap. So only going to get 30 out of 50 for that one. We are just one off for the team objectives. We need to have that fast sector too, so we will try to do that here in our qualifying pace. If we can get a decent score here, we will probably just call it good for the other activities. 30 out of 50 isn't bad. At least we've passed those. We were struggling, as you see us struggling here in this corner. A very tough corner on this track. As we lose it a little bit there, we're out of the time here as the delta up 2/10, but we're coming around. We're normally able to get a pretty good run off of this final turn. As you can see, we're going to bring it back to the green, and we will make it across the line, hitting the DRS, and we have hit our target 13. But one more shot here. They want us to get to target 9th, which we're not able to do on lap 2. So we're here on lap 3. We have our time beat. We're actually 1.3. There is our fast sector 2 objective complete. So we've completed all the team objectives for these practice sessions, but we want to get this target 9, 1.5 seconds now. This was a very quick lap. Starting to kind of figure it out on these super soft tires, as we're going to come around and we'll easily beat this time, as we will get the target, and that will be a perfect 50 out of 50 resource points. So at this point, I'm just going to call it good. I'm not going to try any more for practice number 3. At this point, I think we've kind of got as much as we can out of this track. We actually were pretty quick, though. We got the 2nd fastest lap time in that practice, so things looking very good. I'm very content with that. So we'll just kind of skip through practice number 3 and move on to qualifying. We do pick up a lot more points here, 118. So at 595, we have more than enough points to upgrade something, and I'm going to go to downforce just based off of this track we're on right now. I can tell this car needs some help with the downforce to help in the turns, so we're going to hit that. Now, the qualifying goals, they want us to qualify 13th and beat our teammate. I think that is doable. We did pretty well in the qualifying pace, so here we go. And our qualifying lap, as we're already a little bit slow, and you can see Hamilton heading off there. Vettel actually beating him now, but this is a one-shot qualifying. We don't do the qualifying segment, as it leaves a little bit of mystery and excitement to it, as one mistake can really, really cost us as we're coming around this trouble turn for us. As we'll take it around, you can see, and here we have trouble as I lose the back end, forced to hold off on it just to get it back, and now we are way behind, and now we are going to be short, I think, of the 13th goal that I thought would be so easy to get. We're going to try and hit the DRS here, and it is going to be just green as we go across the line, so we should be, what, 13th? 14th. We do not beat our target. I thought we had it there, so that little bit of traction loss really, really cost us. We do not beat our teammate either. Romain Grosjean is 12th, so a horrible, horrible qualifying. What did I say? The one-shot qualifying. It is really do or die. Looking at the rivalry update, we're well ahead of our teammate here, but we still did have a pretty fast time. He's able to gain a little bit from us, but really, well, no, he only gained 1 point off of us. And then the driver position, we were already at the 10, but we are going to take a couple steps back as we failed both of those session goals. So moving on now, they want us to place 13th in the race, also beat our teammate, and place 14th or higher in the Drivers' Championship. Again, I would say that should be doable, but you never know. We're moving up in this difficulty. I don't know how this is going to go, honestly. Qualifying obviously was a good indication. As you can see, that first qualifying spot, they were well ahead of us even before we kind of did our little spin out. So we'll see how this race goes. We're going to go to the race strategy. We're going to go with the one stop. It should take 22:30. That's much faster, obviously, than the two stops, just 14 laps. We're going to start on the super softs and then move to the softs, but we'll have to keep an eye on it, see what the other teams are doing, see how the track is responding. I feel like I ran the best on the softs in practice, but we're going to see how this goes as we get off the line, and we're going to try and dive in here to turn one. We should be able to get a bunch of spots here. We will. Now we just got to be careful as we come across. We make contact there with Felipe Massa, but we are going to get back into it. Let's just keep the back end behind us. And there we go. We're off. Carlos Sainz is back there. We do get a little bit loose on the back end, but luckily we have enough space behind us as we'll come into this turn now ahead here as we're trying to wrap up this first lap as Felipe Massa there in front of us. Can we get 9th across the line as we're going to use the slipstream, and we are going to dive out there, and we are going to take the spot. We should be safe taking that into turn one as we'll be able to outbrake him here and nearly come up there on Daniel Kvyat, but we are able to make the turn, and we are back through into turn two and safe there with the 9th spot. As still though, we really are having some trouble holding on to the traction in these back wheels. I don't know what it was on this track. I just could not control that traction. Just got to be a little bit lighter on the throttle as Massa comes back, but we take our spot right back as we come through here. Now ahead, third lap, we've got Daniel Kvyat in front of us. We're trying to take that spot away from him as can we climb up this leaderboard as we have Bottas there in front of us now in 7th. We do eventually pass him, so we have Max Verstappen there in front of us, and actually the two Red Bull teammates are holding each other up, and we're going to take advantage of that. That's one thing I have noticed in this game. The AI, when they get into groups, they really, really slow down, and that is going to be the benefit to us as we are going to take them out. We are now in 6th place. Oh, we do take Ricciardo out, but we have Verstappen in front of us, but the DRS is active, and we are going to take him a little bit wide there on the turn. We bring it back in. We do get the pass, and we'll come into that turn. Okay, so we are now up to 3rd here on lap number 6, and we're getting close to our pit window as we come across, and I'm actually going to check it here, and as I check this, I notice how worn the tires are, so I quickly move back over. We're going to pit right now. Not going to trust those tires. The trouble we have been having with traction around the turns, I'm not going to risk the super softs for another lap because I can just see us coming around one of those turns on the back side of the track and completely losing it. So we're going to make the stop. We're going to change to the softs. A quick-ish pit stop there as we try to run back out. Looks like we're going to get back out maybe at 8th. Nope, there's going to be a couple guys coming through, so we are going to be 10th as we come back out. And here actually, don't really notice when we get control of the car, forget to turn, so we're going to take a very, very wide first turn. But we're back on it here into turn 2, back up, and now we have a couple cars behind us, but we'll try to get back into the gas, and we will do just fine. We now have made it up to P8 here on lap number 8. We have Alonso in front of us, but we're going to try and make the pass, and we should be clear. I dive down, but no, he's going to touch our back rear, and he spins us out. Alonso, what are you doing, man? Let's take a look at the replay as we are clear of him. Nope, I guess we did dive down a little bit too quickly as he is already low on the track and he just touches it. A little break from him and we would have been clear, but instead he is safely through. So now in my kind of panic here, I pull out completely in front of the other drivers and then I totally cut the corner and we get a 3-second penalty. So not only did we get spun out and drop back a few places, but we also now have to think about a 3-second penalty at the end of the race. So at this point, I'm going to check the tires, and it looks like, as we pull this up here in a second, it looks like the tires aren't too bad. The back right is at 20, but you know what? That's okay. Not enough that I'm going to make another stop to change the tires because that would really drop us back. We would come back out in 22nd. We can't afford that. So what I'm going to do, change the fuel mix to rich, and we are just going to drive this car as hard as we can, trying to pick up as many spots as we can so that when we get the 3-second penalty at the end, we don't lose too many stops because I think we have a great opportunity right here. So we have Verstappen as we've climbed our way all the way back up to P5 here on lap 11 as we're going to try and beat Verstappen here around this corner. And it looks like we have, yes, as we make the clearance there coming around this turn that we have the issues with. But we will be clear, and now ahead to the last lap of the race. We are in P4. You can see the mini-map. The two in front of us are way ahead of us, so it looks like we're going to be safe here. But it looks like we're heading yellow flag here, and it looks like someone has crashed. As we come around this, we're going to take it a little bit slow. It's going to be Lewis Hamilton coming back on the track, but whatever he's doing here completely throws me off. I hit the gas way too back hard coming out of this turn, and we lose the back end, and then I cannot bring it back together. And what this has done, look at the bottom left, those 3 cars coming, they completely make up the entire lead that I had on them, and that is going to mean we are immediately going to be at least dropped behind those 3 because I do not have a 3-second lead, and that means instead of P4, as you can see, the tires now completely gone, but we will cross the finish line, and with the 3-second penalty, we're going to finish 7th. Still not horrible. We still finish in the points, but still, we had the opportunity there to finish P4 on a track that really did not treat us too well. But still, I'm going to take P4. Kimi Räikkönen is going to win it, and it's Rosberg, the Mercedes teammates, and Lewis finishing 2nd and 3rd. Now, as they are celebrating, a discussion quickly on the difficulty. I do believe that hard was more of a challenge, but I still think I can move up a little bit higher. We still were able to kind of hang around and even drive past some drivers that I don't think we should be driving past those kind of cars, as Haas still just not really good enough, I don't think, to really be competing for these sort of spots in the standings. So we finished 7th. We beat our teammate. We are now 3rd in the driver's standings as Nico Rosberg takes over in 1, Kimi Räikkönen in 2, Lewis Hamilton below us. I'm sure we will continue to fall after the win in week 1. And then in the constructor standings, we are 4th, which is very good. And then a rivalry update here as we wrap things up, and we are going to extend our lead against Romain Grosjean. So it looks like we're going to be safe to win that rivalry, and then we are going to, I think, pick back up, yes, as we finished higher than 3rd, we beat our teammate, and we improved our Drivers' Championship. So I don't know if having that 11th point puts us over to being the first driver. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but a successful round number 2. We move on now. Round number 3 is going to be in Shanghai, so I will see you all in the next video.